hello, everyone. Welcome to the trip. This is me, my man, Mr. Tom.
You nearly said road trip, didn't you?
I did not. I actually did not. I thought I got it right this time. I
Okay,
thought I got it right this time, but no,
no
no.
problem.
Yeah, yeah, no. So how are you doing, Mr. Tom?
I'm not bad. It's an tiring day at work, but I'm not bad really. Um, things could be worse, could be better. Is what it is. It's life, isn't it?
True, 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 true. Everyone. All right. So I'm trying this thing out. I'm pushing our product out to Instagram. I don't know. We'll see how that what if that's good or not. But before we do that, we'll say hi to a couple of people that have joined us. BX Gun is in the house. Welcome to the house. Welcome to the show, BX. Stefan's joined us. Welcome. Spencer's here. He's celebrating with the boss. It's the boss's day, so he's
Happy
waiting.
birthday
He's
to
waiting
Wally.
by the I should say by the phone, but he's probably just waiting by her feet for when she needs anything. So what's happening, everyone? Well, watching the end of this football season, all right? Watching the end of it, and you know, we'll see how this thing all how it ends and stuff. But we'll get into that. Bargav has joined us too. Bargav, welcome to the show.
Good evening.
I think we're good for we're good. We're talking football and talking stuff. As far as how our teams are doing, well, we won't know for another couple of days. Yes, those fans are going mad over Ange's comments. I don't know what did the crazy Aussie say this time. Do you know?
Yeah, he I heard part of it to be fair, so I may not have exact quotes, but basically, the reporter said, "Oh, there may be a proportion of your fans that don't want to win tomorrow." To which then Ange went, "Proportion? Tell me more. How many? Is it one fan? Is it 1%? Is it 50%? How many Tottenham fans do not want to win a match?" To which the report went, "Oh, I don't know." He went, "Oh, so you're just making it up then?"
uh,
Like, I don't know what they expected him to say, to be
yeah,
honest.
no.
Like,
As a professional in in any business, you have a job to do. What is that job? Typically to
it's
win football games or deliver the mail or deliver the milk or cut the meat or slice the cheese or bang away the keyboard and make programs that work. Ultimately, there's a success failure part of every job, whether you've done it good or not. They want him to fail at his job, and then they're going to ask him tomorrow to win.
to be fair, that's the part of it that I heard with my own ears. So I don't know if other things was. I'm assuming other things were said. That is the
Mhm.
part I heard. Um, Again, though, to defend him, feels a bit dirty defending Tottenham manager, but to defend him, um, what his job is to try and get the team in the Champions League, and you only get that by trying to win. I know the result earlier on tonight is not ideal for them,
Yep.
but at the same time, it would be silly of him to sit there knowing he has to answer to a boss who wants Champions League football and go, "Oh yeah, but the fans will really respect me if I just let Man City win 7-0 or whatever."
True.
It's
True. True. True.
nonsense. It's nonsense. Like for example, right? Last week, everyone and their grandmother knew Ipswich were going to murder Huddersfield Town.
Yeah. Yeah.
There were some proper delusional people out there that were like, "Oh yeah, I think Huddersfield to get a result." It's like based on what? Based on what the other 45 games where they could barely beat anyone. But anyway. So I know it's slightly different, but my point is that people, Huddersfield said themselves they're going to try. I
Yep.
mean, it didn't matter in the end because they're Huddersfield and they're shit, so it's irrelevant. They lost. But
True.
the fact of the matter is, Tottenham ain't going to come out and go, "Oh yeah, we're going to throw this professional football match."
Yeah. You know what? You know what? It one like I said, one it's against the job description, and two it corrupts the game, right? Because the same way we want officials will go, I don't want to make a call because it will change the game. Well, wait a second. What is your job? Make a decision or not?
I
Make,
am looking forward to, let's just say, argument's sake, worst case scenario, Man City do win the contest. I can't wait to see. There will be sections of your fan base that claim that Tottenham laid down.
yeah, you know what? And you know what? Teams will get punished and then lay down, and then people go, "Why are they stopping?" Well, because every time we try, they punish us. So I hear what you're saying, but yeah, his job is to win football games. And one example of that you're talking about is the women's team. Chelsea basically had no chance to win until Arsenal played Manchester City. Was it? I think. And
Yep.
if Manchester City had won, Chelsea's odds of winning the league pretty much gone. Similar to tomorrow. If most people believe that if that team doesn't win and loses, basically, if they lose, then City's going to win no matter what. Not 100% guaranteed, but odds are they will. Same thing in the women's game. Arsenal doesn't like Chelsea. Who does? Nobody likes Chelsea unless you're a Chelsea fan. Arsenal went out there losing 1-0, scored 2 goals late, and beat them. Now Chelsea has a chance. There's goal difference and all this other stuff that plays into it. And yeah, so now you're basically giving one of your arch rivals an opportunity to win. The arch rival who's actually won, they've beaten you by 1 point in past seasons, I think. You know, and now you've just given them a chance. But in reality, Arsenal needed to win because they've been not playing well, especially against the big teams. So I say, you know what? You can't do anything about that. That was your mistakes you did. You messed up early in the season, and you know what? You need to finish strong. The last thing I want is a team not like your team or any team to go out basically just laying down. Because guess what? Now Now you're going to tell me when you start the new season you're going to do better than you finished up. No, as I always say, run through the tape. Run through the tape. That's one thing you learn as a track. If you're ever in track or you run, or if you run long distances, right? The last thing you want to do is walk across the line. You want to run through that thing. That's you prepare so that but you want to run through the line. You have a little bit left every time. You run through the tape. You snap the tape. You don't like crawl. No, no. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Yeah, you can't not try it. Yeah, I mean, think about it. These are people's jobs on the line. So players that don't do the job, what? Tomorrow they're gonna say, "Now pay me more money." What for you? No, I'm not doing that. Or they let them go. So the next team is like, "Well, if you're gonna lay down and not finish off a game, why am I gonna bring you here?" Yeah, I'm not rooting for I'm not rooting for that team to win. I'm definitely rooting for City to lose. That's it. And I'll settle for City drawing, but I'll never. But I really just want City to lose. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah. Lots of messages here. I'm trying to go through them while I chat.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Trying to remember who Liverpool.
Villa.
Yeah, today Liverpool played Villa, and you know, it just looks like the City matches where teams get a sniff of like maybe this might be a good competitive game, and then next thing you know, it goes the opposite way. Liverpool probably should have ran away. You're up what 3-0 at one point or 3-0, right? I think they're up 3-0 at one point or 3-1. Somehow they don't finish it off. Stephen, welcome
Straight
to the
down there.
show. You
I
what?
enjoyed watching it. It was a great game.
No, it was a good game, entertaining back and forth. I mean, both teams had chances to make extra scores, hit that 4 goal mark. I mean, both teams should have hit the 4, could have hit it for, could have hit it. We've had what? I thought we had 2 goals come back, right? 2 goals from Villa actually came back, and you're like, there's no way they're going to respond. Like they scored, I think they scored 5 goals. 2 of them didn't count or something like that. 2 corrections is what I think I saw. Yeah, they were down 3-1. Yeah, yeah.
I've seen things. I've seen sentences such as, "Oh, Fulham bent over for Man City." It's like Fulham couldn't beat Man City even if they wanted to.
True.
I don't understand this theory that teams are just letting one of the greatest club sides ever win.
Yeah.
Like if Fulham tried, they would have actually beat Man City.
True. True.
I mean, they may have, but just the assumption that if they had, they would have is mad.
Hmm. True. True. And as Steven says here, a lot of these, like the only reason why a team, a player, or a coach would lay down against another team is if they were, like, for their lifetime they hated this team, right? Say that you hated Arsenal all your life. Now you play for it. You don't play for them. You know, do you really not care? Like, your boss talks to you the next day and says, "What kind of performance was that?" And you're like, "Well, Arsenal. I hate Arsenal." It's like, well, you obviously hate my team as well because you didn't perform for me. You can't ask for a raise after that. I don't know. Well, I'll do a watch along because it's a football match, but I ain't celebrating anybody's goals. I'm not. I'll be happy. Like I said, I will broadcast the game and be like the color commentary, just tell you what's happening. And if City loses, I'll be happy like I would if I never watched the match. All right, I just saw the score at the end. So, but no, I don't even think I would want to do that. That sounds like too much. Too much. You might say something that you regret. Yeah. No, you know how many teams can beat City, Mister Tom, in
Very
English
few,
football? How
very
many?
few.
Yeah.
Probably you can count them on one hand.
Yeah. So
Probably.
every team in England, right? Every team. So we're talking hundreds of teams. 5 of them might be able to beat City.
Don't get me wrong, Gary.
Yeah.
Any of them can beat City,
Yeah.
like in the contest of like Brentford have
Yeah.
beaten Manchester City.
Yeah.
Hell, the Leeds team of 3 years ago beat Manchester City.
Yes.
It can happen, but generally,
Yeah.
the reason they've won it 3 years in a row, possibly 4, is because most teams don't beat them.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very
Is
true.
it?
And Arsenal went from losing to City twice last year to taking 4 points from City this year, and all it means is they may miss winning the title by 2 points.
But then you lost to Villa twice,
Yeah,
which I bet
yeah.
you didn't do
You have to
last
be,
year.
and some people say you have to be perfect, right? And like you have to be. No, you don't have. You have to be perfect, but you don't have. You shouldn't have to be perfect.
That's elite sport, though.
No, no,
You
no.
have to,
You want to
like
be
you said,
perfect, but you can't like go look and say, look, you guys, you dropped 4 points in 2024. Guess what? That's just not gonna. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you to win every game that you play in the Premier League in a calendar year. How about can you do that for me? Like that's unrealistic. Yeah, that's like, you're a salesperson. I'm going to give you 100 clients. I want you to sell and hit the your mark on all 100. You put your hands up, but it's unrealistic. Nobody expects a team to go undefeated for a whole season.
I don't believe when people say that they actually mean like 38 wins. I think the implication is that like the year that Liverpool got 90, what was it,
Yeah,
97 points and won like the last 10 games. But
yeah,
then it turned out that Man City won the last 11 games and then got 98 points.
true.
So no matter what you do, they find a way to do just that
Yeah.
little bit more.
Yep.
Is
And
more
they are
important.
good enough that they don't, and somehow they don't expend that much energy. One, because teams are threatened by them, so they will step back. So the only way to pressure them is what we saw from Arsenal 2 seasons ago. For a half, Pep was pulling his hair out because Arsenal wasn't like, well, you guys can do whatever you want. No, Arsenal said, no, 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 you're going to have to play some football against us and see how it works. You have to be able to do that for 90 minutes, and we were not able to do that. And I would love to go back to seeing that play out again. We have a better team now. The only problem is our coach doesn't want to take those risks. And guess what? He wasn't even on the field that day. I haven't seen a team do that to City in a very long time, and nobody has. You catch them on a bad day, yes, but you don't have them sitting there screaming at each other because they're like, "What the world just happened here? This team is actually playing football. We don't know how to. We don't have answers." So I know it can be done. It's a discipline thing. At some point, you got to be able to go through all 90 minutes and do that. Nobody can do that for 90 minutes because guess what? As soon as you do what? Slip. As soon as
Yep.
you blink, next thing you know, you're like, what just happened here? Goal just went in. So yeah, and that's what I mean by you have to be perfect. So even if you're going for a draw and a draw is what you need, you can still lose that draw if you're not perfect. And like you said, it's not that you win every match, but you have to play proper football for 90 minutes against them. And no team can do that right now. That's why beating them is probably should be low on your list, but beating everybody else it's got to be the goal because then, you know, they drop more than 6 points in a season. So, yeah,
I What I find fascinating about all this is a lot of what you just said. It's very sensible. It's very correct. But something you said that's really interesting is the fact that, in theory, you can win the title and not have to beat Man City at all,
true.
but you beat everyone else.
Yes,
But unfortunately, football doesn't work like that. Yet at the same time, you've proven that correct because you got more points off them than they got off you this year,
yep,
and it still probably ain't gonna matter
true.
because I bet they beat Villa twice.
Yep,
I bet they beat Fulham twice.
true.
Probably.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, they have less losses, and last season we didn't have to beat City. Like the games we played against City were not. We have to win those. The
But
games
if you drew
against
them, you'd have
the
won the title.
if we drew them, well, we didn't even like I said, we didn't have to win those. We didn't. The thing was, you should have beat Liverpool, should have beat West Ham, should have beat Bournemouth. You know, that's 6 points dropped in that game. We lost the league by three. All right, and we had leads in all three games. When you have leads in games, you should finish it off if you're a team challenging.
That Southampton game, as Spencer says, was a killer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, Southampton. Not what did I say? Bournemouth, Southampton. Yes, you come out and you give them a goal in the first minute. Come on, you can't be doing that. And you know what? Like I said, you have to play. You have to be perfect with your football. Yes, perfect doesn't
That's
get
something you
you a
did a
win,
lot last year, though.
huh?
That was something you did a lot last year. I get the impression it's not happened as often this year, but you conceded a lot of shots in the first minute of a game.
It was
It was
painful. It was so painful last season. How many times the first 5 minutes of a match you were like down a goal, and you're like, "What the world just happened here?" We kicked off and we're down within 5 minutes. What? How in the world do you kick off and then get a goal scored on you? It's ridiculous. That's kind of yeah. No, like I said, it's and we're just talking Premier League, right? No team just plays Premier League matches, not the ones that competing for championships, right?
true.
Everybody competes in things. And as much as you can say, oh, you can just lay that one down, I don't believe just taking a day off and going and watching your team lose in a cup match is beneficial to anyone.
Nope.
No,
Your team, all
win
the elite
winning
teams,
begets
Gary.
winning is kind of how I believe this thing works.
Yeah,
The more
it's true.
you win, the more you want to win. You take a loss and you didn't try. Guess what happens the next game? You try, and you're like starting all over again. It's like one of those things where you're running in a race. You got a lead on someone, and you start walking. Guess what they're doing? They're still running, right? And then you try to speed up, and now you're hitting a hill, and they've been running for a while, so they've got momentum. So they just beat you on the toughest part, right? The hill, they're running up. You're just trying to get back into form. I mean, it's no, you. That's why you can't stop running. You can't stop. You got to maintain and keep performance has got to be the same. Game one, like I always say, you got 38 tests. From your performances have to improve. If your performances improve from game one to 38, you'll get a lot of what you want. Yeah, last I think it was last season we dropped so many points to teams in the bottom third of the league. Can't be doing that. Not if you're trying to catch City. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but you still executed the robbery at Ellen Road, though, didn't you?
Like I
Where you
said,
stole the points. You
did it
stole the
help us? It
points.
didn't help us. So then it would have given us
Yeah, it
an
would have
interest to
helped
put.
me. It would have helped me, wouldn't it? Considering we went down by 2 points
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever it was.
yeah.
Just give me the points, damn it.
You know what the thing is? Yeah, yeah. The thing is when teams sit back, a lot of times, and what I notice, those teams usually are disciplined. Disciplined in the sense that they are they're fine sitting back. Yeah, they're fine sitting back, and they will. And then you're like, what the world just happened? Why are we struggling here? And it's like, because guess what? They're happy to take this lead, and they're gonna fight tooth and nail to hold on to this this goal lead that they got. You're gonna have to hit. You're gonna have to shoot through, you know, 12 people because yes, they're gonna bring the ref in as well. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have to go through all 11 players to get to a goal, right? And I think when you're holding on to something, you hold on to it tight, especially if you're a team lower in the table. Teams up in the table will continue to try sometimes and get punished even more.
I think you actually mean the best form of defence is attack.
That's true. As that way, it goes two ways. It goes two ways because Arsenal teams will sit
Beat you
back on
to it.
Arsenal, and we don't have an answer sometimes to break that down. And the reason why is because we don't trust. We don't trust ourselves, right? We don't trust that if we make a run, our teammate's going to make the pass. We don't trust that if we make the run, our team, we don't trust that if we make the pass, our player will also make that run. So then, guess what happens? One or the other, or nothing, right? So then the pass isn't made, the run isn't made, and nothing happens. Or you get into the box and you're thinking about something else instead of what you know what maybe we should try to score. Yeah, I could go on and on and on about my about what's going on there. But yes, I kind of feel like you don't trust yourself, and that's why people say Arteta's screaming at his team players. Guess what? They don't trust what he just told them all week. They've been practicing all week, and then they come into a game, and now he's screaming at them. Yeah, yeah.
I'd like to offer congratulations to Emmy Martinez for scoring one of the funniest own goals
That
I've ever seen.
was, what's crazy about that as well? Probably people have said this multiple times this season. We let the better goalkeeper go, right? Like we let the better goalkeeper go. The first goalkeeper we let leave this team since Arteta's got here was the best one. That's what people have said. And we now witnessed him score twice, one off the back of his head, and this time off the front of his shoulder, basically. But you know what? It wasn't.
Yeah,
You know what? It wasn't all him, right? The ball was deflected off one of his teammates, and that's why he looks like he's going the wrong way. Because so yes, it's an own goal, but his own guy basically deflected it in off of the
Oh
goalkeeper.
but he still shouldn't have dropped the ball. It was
Yeah, no, but he's going the opposite way. So it's a bang bang play, right? And it just happened in so slow motion because he's going one way to stop the shot. His defender deflects it back across him. He goes
nah, you're
back
being
for it.
too charitable. You're being too charitable
You
to
know what?
Martinez. He doesn't
But
deserve it.
when the ball comes off your defender like that, you can't take 100% of the blame. That's what I'm going to say on that one.
I'm actually fully prepared to give him 742% of the blame. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of him at all.
Yeah, yeah. No, you know what? It's where you're not a fan of him, but then like I don't know. Were you a fan of Dirty Leeds? Were you a fan of that?
No, I'm not. I'm not particularly enamoured with the current Leeds United goalkeeper either. Um,
No, but you know
he
what? There's a difference. Your current goalkeeper hasn't won a World Cup and a Copa America and stuff like that. So the quality of goalkeepers like that you're comparing apples and oranges in the world of
no,
football
no. I got an
goalkeepers.
answer. I got a very simple, but in my opinion, fair answer. If Ilan Melier happened to play for the same country as Lionel Messi, then he might have a World Cup too.
Well, you know what? Now you're definitely talking crazy.
It's not crazy. It's
No,
not
it is
crazy.
crazy because there is a difference between Emmy Martinez and Meslier. There is.
Well, of course there is. One's shit and the other is Emmy Martinez, but at the same time,
So no,
I've
no. See, stop right there. No, there's nothing more to add. You can't compare. You can't compare. One's confident in his own self, even if he gets a little too cocky and rubs people the wrong way. The other guy, no, is he as confident in himself? No, he's not. Like,
I've
Should he be screaming at his defenders when they screw up in front of him? Probably. Does he? No. He'll take the blame for it and he'll look silly and not like, go. What are you doing in front of me? Why are you letting? Uh, can you do something for me, please? I'll save some goals. That's how confident he should be.
um I've got a question for you.
Oh, he
Sorry,
says
I've
it's
got a question
fixed.
from Tom in the chat.
Mm.
So, is was you paid by Emmy Martinez for the last 4 minutes of the show?
Was that,
Was
I
you paid to
tell
be his
you
cheerleader?
asked me to chat on a subject. I'll tell you. I,
I tell you,
I'll tell you.
that's very good. That's very good. But
No, no.
to
You know
bottle,
what? You know what?
nah, not a fan.
Yeah, I can be subjective when it comes to what I see on what I saw today. Yes, it's funny when he gets scores goals because like as much as we probably missed letting him go, he can do that too. We've seen it, so it's like, is everybody perfect? We like, no, no.
I think he would have done it more for you guys than someone else.
Mm, mm, mm.
Personally,
Yeah.
I don't think he showed enough for Arsenal. And as much as like people go, "Oh, look what he went on to do," it's like, well, if he had that in him while he was at Arsenal, he'd be the starting goalkeeper,
Well,
and
the
you wouldn't have
problem
spent
wasn't
20 million
that.
on
It's my
someone else.
understanding. If you know the history behind that
I have no
negotiation.
idea the history behind it. To be
Yeah,
fair,
I think either he wanted guarantees that he would start
yeah.
based on the fact that he just won an FA Cup with the squad,
Oh, that is what
and
that
basically
that is
Arteta,
what I'm
as we
aware of.
know, plays favorites. So the chances that he would get a good the chances that he would actually get a good 50-50 chance to take the position, I feel were not on the table. I think Arteta knew who his starter was before he come back from injury. So that's kind of how I felt. I felt like that's happened. Havertz 20 goals in all competitions next season. I mean, based on the fact of where he is now, I could see that because you know what? He'll probably play in a lot of the cup matches if we don't get if we get a striker. So he should be put in the situations that he does perform. And when he
I
plays for
think
the
he's
starts,
exceeded expectations,
yeah.
Gabby. I think he's had a good season.
I feel like that's what I expected him to be able to do when he came to Arsenal. Because it's not like if one guy like he's not he I don't think he was going to hold us back unless he was put in the wrong position, which I believe he was for part of the season. But you put him in a good position up top like they have, he's going to benefit from that. And he has. All right, so that's kind of how I feel about it, and he is putting in the work. He's part of the press, and that's kind of what we wanted. Can I argue that Emmy was probably our best keeper? Can't imagine what would have been like behind our back line today. For sure, for sure. It gets you see less shots, you get even more confident in yourself, right? So lots of World Cups have been fixed. FIFA corruption as usual, except they finally got caught with the bidding process. And England were meant to embrace the World Cup. Right. Yeah, completely different player from the first half to the second half. I think is he talking about Emmy? I don't know. Oh, he's talking about probably Havertz, probably. But no, I think that's what I was expecting. That all right, he struggled at Chelsea just because guess what? He wasn't playing with a solid team. Like 10 players playing alongside you that know what they're doing, and that's kind of what Arteta has built. And the whole key is you should be able to plug and play, right? You bring in somebody of equal or better talent, and you should see the team perform much less and then get better. Like we put Rice in the team, what happened? The team performed just as good and better in some cases. You put Raya in, and I look at Raya and Ramsdale as equals. They have negatives on different sides of the table, but they are negatives, and the team has performed well. Havertz, same thing. If Partey and Timber are healthy, who knows what could have happened? Like we might blame Havertz for being out of position, which he was, but Arteta decided that's how he's going to fix it. Didn't like it, but that's what he did. I don't think anybody knew how good Emmy was after he single-handedly saved Reading from relegation while on loan. Management was not paying. I think they were paying attention. I think Arteta had his man already, Leno. I think that's what happened there. And I don't believe that you can decide on a player just because you like them. Like they have to perform, right? Because there's players for Leeds that do they perform or are they liked probably by the manager?
I think that could be implied to be the case. It's, every manager has their trusted lieutenants, as
Mm-hmm.
some would say.
Mm-hmm. So
I could
so
be
I
wrong.
so I yeah, so I like I feel like it's a it's a tough thing to sit someone in that you like. It's a tough thing to bench somebody that you chat with every day. You have a personal relationship with and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, everybody's trying to get to the same place. And guess what? You might not be the right person either for the day or in general. If I'm doing my job, then I might have to make some tough decisions. I always say the toughest decisions are the easiest ones, right? You like this player, but he's not right for the job.
Not
You talk
just
to
in
him,
sport, in
yeah,
life.
yeah, and you know what? You go, I'm gonna have to let you go. We'd sit on the bench and play this other player who I don't have that same sort of communication with, like hanging out, having a meal or something like that on the weekend or something. Because guess what? They do the job, you know. But that's the right thing for the job. The job that you're performing as a manager, right?
Yep.
Right. I mean, like Xhaka, they liked him for certain things, skills, some things that he brought to the table. Too much sometimes because they thought he could do everything until they realized no, he can't do everything. We might have somebody better, and they went out and got people better, and then he got pigeonholed into one particular position on the pitch, and it worked out for him. But it took that. Sometimes it's right there in your face. You don't want to look. because it doesn't agree with your initial thought, which is fine. You can't get it right every time. Yes, we've got um, JSY talks about football channel on. Good evening, sir.
Hello,
Or
Jess.
who?
It's Jess. It's a lady.
Jess. Jess. I was going to say sir or madam. That's what I was going to say. Welcome to the show. What is that logo? I can't read it. Do you know what it is?
It's Leeds, I believe.
Oh, is it? Okay. Oh, a Leeds fan. You got Leeds fans following you. See, Mr. Tom, I told you. I told you.
It's more that I follow her content. She puts out a lot more than I do.
Yeah. Yes. Cool. Welcome to the show. You hear a little bit of Arsenal and Leeds on this channel, especially when it's just me and Mr. Tom. When we have others on, we might comment. Might be mostly Arsenal, but Mr. Tom always has something to say. Always has
That's
something to
true.
say. So
That is
no
true.
matter what.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. No.
Unfortunately for some.
Yeah.
I'm talking about me.
Stephen, you're right. Selling Emmy for cheap means you did not do your research into your own players. I, I like I said, and I keep saying it, we've sold starting goalkeepers in the Premier League, and we're going to do it one more time. Goalkeepers who have finished in the top 5, goalkeepers that have finished in the top 2. We're going to sell them to possibly another team in the Premier League and sell them for cheap. How is that? Makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. And your favorite chat room pal, Colonel Ward, has joined us. I don't know. He's changed his logo on us.
I'm still I'm gonna invest some cash into some research into how can we get Colonel Ward suspended from the internet. How can we go about making sure that Colonel Ward is deplatformed? Just I might even start GoFundMe for it. And I might actually spend the money on what I say I would.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'd buy Pepsi.
I know you're not going to waste your money on stuff like that. Yes. So Jess knows Stefan. Perfect. Yeah, Ramsdale should go for at least 40, 35, 40 in my eyes. I mean, he's a starting goalkeeper in the Premier League. Like people, there's how many teams have legitimate starting goalkeepers in the Premier League? Right? And if you are coming into the league, after not being in the league for a while, and you need a goalkeeper who's not only started but also competed and worked their way up to challenging for a league.
Sorry, I'm laughing at what Spencer just said.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was good. Sorry, no,
Yeah,
but I get your point, Gary. He is an experienced Premier League goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So that's gonna come with a cost. I don't necessarily think 40 will be it because of the fact of he's not a starting keeper now.
You know what? He is a starting goalkeeper. On his resume, it says, "What can I do for you?" And he says, "I can start for you, and I know how this thing works."
Yeah, but
So
that's what it says on my resume as
no,
well.
no, it
I can
doesn't. You've
start for you
never
as
started
goalkeeper.
for any team, much less a Sunday team.
No.
So
I would send that to the Boston Celtics as well. It's like I can be your starting goalkeeper.
Now you're talking nonsense. So no. Like I said,
I
no.
invented a basketball position. Pioneer of the game. I will tend your goal.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, no. But it says that on his, and you know what? It's legit, and people have seen it, and people know the deal as to why he's not playing anymore. All right, is it because of his talents? No.
Sell him to Ipswich. There'll be a bunch of mugs for 200 million, and everyone knows they need players.
And you need a goalkeeper. So you should start from the back. That's what Arteta has done, and he keeps doing it. How many seasons has he been a manager? How many goalkeepers has he brought in? Yeah. Has he got it right now? No. He still doesn't have a top goalkeeper, but he's gotten a starting goalkeeper in the league who's got a gold glove to show for it. 20 mil for Ramsdale is basically you're doing your team a disjustice, right? I mean, how are you selling a player who got you second in a league against City? That should carry some weight, right? It should. Does he make mistakes? Yes. Do all goalkeepers make mistakes? Yes. Even World Cup winning goalkeepers make mistakes. So guess what? You can't it's not it's all the other stuff that they do.
I actually think it's really generous calling him a World Cup winning goalkeeper. I know it's factually true. I know
Yeah.
the record book says it's true.
Yeah.
But everyone knows that Lionel Messi carried them on his back.
Yeah.
And
Hey, he got into the minds of some of those players, right? And made some
of course
stops
he
for
did.
them.
Of
So you
course
know
he
what?
did. He was like, the Qataris will give you money if you miss this penalty.
Hey, Ipswich, Nketiah is all yours. He is a goal-scoring magician. He will
Hey,
score
hey,
you
hey,
goals.
hey, we're not out of running. We're not out of running.
If you want to cut, if you want Nketiah, you can have him too.
Hey, if we run the table on his next 2 games, if
Yeah,
we win out, as the Americans say,
yeah.
we'll be like,
Hey,
oh,
I asked you if
Ipswich.
you want
Who are you in
Nketiah.
for,
I asked you if you
Ipswich?
want
Who are you
Nketiah,
in
and you were
for?
telling me no. So I assumed that you pulled that card off the table. You don't want to partake in the Eddie sweepstakes. It sounds like you bought another ticket.
I'd pay money just to make sure that Ipswich didn't get players.
Yeah,
If Ipswich
yeah,
bidded for Ronaldinho,
yeah,
I would encourage Leeds to bid for
yeah.
Ronaldinho. Even if they
Yes,
pay monopoly
yeah,
money, I don't care.
yeah, yeah. Hey, he scored how many goals did he score against Sheffield United? Goal scoring
Eddie,
crazy man.
he is. He is.
Yes, yes. I don't fibs stuff on. I tell it like it is. Unless a big club in Champions League in Europe are interested, we are not selling for big this year. Yeah, we have enough players that we can sell. I think to add up to big things.
I
Norwich,
could I
send him
could
down.
actually see Ramsdale being sold to Chelsea because it's the perfect sort of transfer. Because and I know you're not our rival club and all that, but for the human, the individual, it would probably mean that he wouldn't have to move house. It's why a lot of your players go to Fulham when they're winding down, because
Right.
like you don't actually have to go through the
Yeah,
rigmarole of like actually upending your
it's
life.
crazy because you're talking about a move that is, I don't know, is it like what's the first like I know like is man how far away is Manchester to like
What
London?
for? It's about 3 hours, I believe.
Oh, okay, driving, right?
Yeah.
So so here in the States, an NFL player who used to play for Miami now has to play for Chicago. That is a 3 hour flight, not a drive. That's a flight. You're shipping all your stuff. You're not just driving it up in a truck kind of thing. So it could be worse. There are other, a player who's in, Miami and ends up in Buffalo. Big, stark difference in temperature, right? Same thing the opposite way. You've been playing in Buffalo and now you're moving to Texas.
Not that I
Hot.
mean to turn this into a
Yeah.
NFL podcast, but
Yeah.
why are the Miami Dolphins so terrible in general, like historically, compared
Historically, well,
to?
they will let you know that they were the last team to go undefeated in the season.
Oh yeah, yeah, cool. In the
So
season where
you
you
go
win
through
4 matches and
cycles.
you're
You go
undefeated.
you go through cycles. So yes, just like any other team, you go through cycles.
Yeah, I
You're
know that,
good
and
and you're bad.
I understand the parity and like
Yeah.
how the
It's
worst team
it
gets the
starts
best
at the top.
player.
It starts at the top, and usually, sometimes that's the ownership, but a lot of times it's the coaching. You don't have the right coaching. You don't have the right scouting. This is the same for anything. I mean, it's the same problems you have in football, right? You look at your team. They went out and they made some purchases on players. You see them come in and you see them perform, and you look at how much they cost, and then you look at another player on another team. You're like, he does the same thing, or even better, and he costs less. What's going on there? Same thing. Your scouting is off. I, he's a starting goalkeeper. That's what it costs. We got a good deal. That's not our fault.
It's true. It's a fair question from the Arsenal misfit. How can you turn around to a team and go, "We'll give you less for your elite
It's
goalkeeper
called inflation,
than
man.
than
Prices
we're actually
change
going to
from
get for
season
our
to
second
season.
choice
We bought him
goalkeeper"?
at that
It's
price
madness,
last
Gary.
season. We're buying him at this is a new season. If things cost more, you know how it works.
Madness.
Yesterday's dollar is yesterday's dollar is
Edu should be
today's
kicked out
95
of
cents.
every
You
room
know?
he tries to make this deal in.
Yeah.
He should be. He should. If he turns around and goes, "I'm going to give you less money than I'm going to ask you to buy my goalkeeper for your goalkeeper," the next question should be, "Mr. Edu, get off my property."
That's like saying, well, you know what? City only paid 55 mil for Harland.
That's not true.
Nope, that's
That's
what
not
they
true.
paid. That's what they paid. All these other extra things that you're talking about, yeah, whatever. But that's what they paid. All right? Players will go to some of these big teams and they won't, and you see the prices that are being paid, and you're like, how did that work?
Nope.
Yeah, yep.
Nope. I'm
So
not
for
having
me,
any of this.
I've seen it. I saw it. Yeah, you've seen it too. I could see him back
Oh,
at
I've seen
Portland.
a lot of things. I've seen a
Yeah,
lot of things I'd rather not.
yeah.
But
Newcastle could do with a good goalkeeper. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, that's what the price should be. This thing called negotiations and all of that. But they can't be starting at 20. Here's the thing: you start at 20, you go down. You can't be starting at 20 and going down, because that's what negotiations mean, right? So you got to start at their value. That value is higher than what the team might be willing to pay. I don't think Ramsdale's a ball playing goalkeeper, if that's what you mean, because that's why they supposedly brought in Raya, because he's a better ball playing goalkeeper. So that actually helps the cause, if that's what they want.
I think you're convincing everyone that I was right in speculating that Chelsea would probably suit Mr. Ramsdale if his
Hey, they're putting
representation
information
can.
out there. I'm just saying, sounds like they made a match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Dolphin cycle has lasted 50 years. I think I was 9 when they last won. Yeah, they won. I think it was in
Yeah,
72.
1972 was when they went undefeated.
Yeah.
But my point is, why have they been terrible since then?
They've had some bad luck. They had one of the best wide receivers. My dad back in the 80s loved the Miami Dolphins. Dan Marino, the Marx brothers. I mean, they were really good.
Dan
But
Marino.
yeah,
What? Jesus Christ.
Dan
I
Marino
didn't
is
even
probably
have
one of the
hair on
best.
my balls when Dan Marino was around.
He's one of the
Jesus
best
Christ.
best quarterbacks in the league. Right? Had no knees, but it didn't matter because he had a quick release. And they had a really good team. But
Dan Marino's got
go to
big
the
numbers.
go to the playoffs and whatnot, and they always choked. Yeah, sort of. So I laughed at it. I laughed. Yeah.
I mainly know him from the Ace Ventura film, weirdly.
True.
Must
Yeah.
admit,
No,
I
it's been a
do look at
while.
it
It's been a
possibly
while.
different.
Like I said, I've seen pretty much all of my teams except for Arsenal win a
Tiger
trophy,
sausage.
won a
Sorry.
big trophy. Yeah. Yeah. No, I get you, Stephen, but I'm just saying that negotiations don't start at 20. You never start at 20. That's like saying I'm trying to sell my house. I'm not going to try and sell it for the top monies, right? Because if you start low, guess what? You go lower. Taib has
Well,
joined us. Welcome to the show, Taib. I don't know who this is. You're going to have to give me some info
Jack
on this.
Butland, he's mainly known for his stint as Stoke goalkeeper in their Premier League days. Then he
Hmm.
had a few years in the Championship because no one would take him. and he was on big wages in the chat for Stoke in the Championship. I believe he was also one of many players that have had 5 minutes at Leeds on loan in their youth. But yeah, Stefan could well be right there. I have no idea. He's currently goalkeeper for Rangers, I'm guessing.
I hear you.
Colonel Ward's got another sporting question for you.
Yes.
Can I read it out in his accent, how I imagine he talks?
Hit it.
Why are the Phoenix Suns so terrible in the NBA, Gary?
Because guess what? When they were good, Jordan was alive and playing in the NBA.
They had Charles Barkley, right?
They got they had some serious luck, bad luck, let's say. I think, if I recall, he went to them after Jordan had been out of the league for 2 seasons. And when he got there, I believe Jordan had returned. So they had their chances, Phoenix Suns, if I recall. But the Houston Rockets decided they were going to go on a 2-peat.
I was going to say, who won the NBA in these 3 years that Michael Jordan thought he'd try his luck at?
I think it was the Houston Rockets. Yes.
Okay.
So he came in thinking, Jordan came back. So that's why the NBA show, if you ever see it, it's got like Charles Barkley, and it's got another teammate of his from the Rockets. He's got a trophy, and Charles Barkley is a Hall of Famer.
I'll tell you, Gary, what I imagine the greatest basketball match ever played would have been, and it's probably not even filmed, is that, when Michael Jordan was filming Space Jam, it would have been in 1996-ish, I think.
Yeah.
He, as part of his contract, they on the film set, they had to build a life-size basketball court.
Yep.
For him to basically say he could work out for his NBA comeback. And then basically word got round to all the NBA players, and they were being invited onto the court. So he'd do his filming, and then he'd spend the evening basically playing basketball with, again, Barkley and all these lads. And I imagine it was some amazing stuff.
Yeah, well, they said that one of the when the Olympics opened up to the professionals in the U.S., like when they decided, they said those practices were what you're saying, the best of the best at that time, because the U.S. pretty much had the best 10 or 11 players in the world playing, and they would play against each other. Said those games, they never recorded it. I don't believe they were recorded, but those games, they said, yes, would have been really good to see. Really good to see. Didn't happen, but yes. Jordan, the model, didn't realize.
The Magic Johnson joke, but I can't.
Yeah. You're just why?
Did you hear about the actress who stabbed herself, Reese something?
Oh, yeah, I know where you're going with this. My wife brings this joke up many a time. Yeah, go on. What did she do? How did she stab herself?
Well, you kind of need to say.
What did she stab herself with?
No, you kind of need to move it along by Reese something.
Reese Witherspoon?
No, it was with a knife.
Ay. Oh, look, this guy's supposed to be hanging out with his wife, and we pulled him away from his wife. So he wants to join us.
She said I could come hang out for 30 minutes.
Oh, there you go.
I'm here.
There you go. Welcome to the show. For everybody who doesn't know, this is Spencer. He comes with a wealth of knowledge about stuff you don't really want to hear, especially Broncos stuff that nobody, even in his house, probably wants to hear it.
Useless facts are my thing, Gary.
Cool. Talk to me. Tell me. We've been chatting it up about pretty much whatever Mr. Tom wanted to talk about. Hey, here we go.
The Dolphins?
Yeah, we talking about everything. We're gonna go quick fire. So we're gonna start with the proper football, and we'll move into the American football. Hey, you think what's gonna happen tomorrow?
It's. I think Spurs are gonna show up. Do I think they're gonna win? I don't know. I really don't know. But I've listened. You and I are in a lot of similar group chats. Not every group chat, but we're in a lot of group chats. And there's a lot of people that are like, I can't root for Spurs. Well, do you want to win the title? You're going to have to root for them. Let them get top 4. Let them get their Champions League football. But you're going to hold a trophy potentially. That's more important than them getting Champions League football. It just feels very small club minded to worry about what Tottenham's doing. I know there are rivals. I get it. But we want to win this championship, and I don't care what we got to do to win it. If that means, come on, you Spurs or whatever to get the title, so be it. We'll still have the trump card. But that being said, it's gonna be tough tomorrow, man. Like, I heard earlier when you're talking about Ange and the comments he said about, how many fans, you made this up. I think Ange is taking it seriously tomorrow. So there's still a legitimate chance that they could get Champions League football. They win tomorrow, and whatever happens on Sunday between them and Sheffield United, and of course, Fulham and is it Palace and Villa have a tough game. Palace is nothing to shake a stick at right now.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens, man. I'll be fair with you. Like, if we're gonna be all honest, I don't think it's gonna go in our favor. I'm not trying to be Mr. Negative right now, but City are City, and that's when they're really, really good team. And that'll be 4 straight championships. You don't do that by mistake. So I don't know.
I can think of 115 reasons you do it.
Well, there's that. Alleged, right? Alleged.
Oh, allegedly.
Always allegedly.
Well, no. There's no allegedly about it. You've been charged with it, so there's some merit to, anyway. Sorry.
No, you're
fine. What I will say is, I think Spurs will win tomorrow? No. Yeah. But I think it will be more because they're not good enough to beat Manchester City. Then they're not going to try to beat Manchester City because they have their reasons to win this match.
Yeah.
They are not, in footballing terms, they are not on the beach.
True.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I think I said earlier in the chat, all these players are the on the beach mentality. I think people claim it. I don't think it's a reality. Mm-hmm. I do think the last game of the season, though, some of the big time guys, let's just say 11th versus 14th happens to play each other. Are they gonna shag off the game? Probably not. But the minute someone goes up 2-0, they're starting to play for themselves at the end of the day. But most of these players, especially, let's take a young youth player, for example. Let's just say Eddie gets a cameo on Sunday, just out of what if. He's playing for his next contract and his next job. So somebody's, out there always auditioning for that next paycheck, right? Because you never know what tomorrow brings. But like you said, Tom, like, are Tottenham good enough to beat them? Yes, but if we played the game 10 times right now with the same squad, Tottenham probably wins. Maybe.
As Mr. Tom just said, and he's been saying every time I say some nonsense like you just said there, he'll tell me, but that's not how football is played. They don't play 10 times just to figure out who's the better. You play one time, you get one chance. Guess what? It might not be your night.
You
get one opportunity to shine. I think the Eminem song went.
Sorry, can we like hire a hitman or something just to put one in the back of his head. Put one in the back of.
You know what? I had to think about this, so I would come up with a good answer. Like Bruce Lee will probably hit me like 100 times before I knew what happened, and Muhammad Ali just hit me once.
Like neither of them would hit you at all because they're both dead.
There we go.
Well, there you go, Mr. Thompson, and you win. So, Colonel Ward, according to Mr. Tom, I'll fight both of them at the same time, and guess what? I think I'll win.
I hope you beat 2 corpses.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know, man.
I might try. I'll just throw the skull at Gary and see what happens.
Hey, West Ham has been oof. I mean, they've been up, they've been down, and little ups. Colonel Wars, what are you saying? I'm hoping Leeds would beat Man City, but then I realized they wasn't in the league. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
This is what I'm talking about. Hire a hitman. Doesn't
Yeah.
even have to be a good one. Like, I don't want it to be a nice clean shot. I want it to be something that he feels. And
True.
then just right
Just
between
like his
your eyes.
internet.
Yeah, this is the Steven's got it right here, and this is what people have been talking about as well. The 8 players up for player of the season. One of them is Van Dijk, whose team, as you just saw today,
Yeah.
can hold on to a 3-1 lead. We're lucky that they didn't lose 5-3 today. It could have
That was
happened.
a great contest in the last 10 minutes. It
Yeah.
was very, very good.
Yeah.
It was exciting. I don't recognise Aston Villa as a Premier League team because there is there's an alternate universe where the goal line technology works and Villa were relegated because of the goal that didn't counting. So they need to get relegated, work their way back into the Premier League, and I'll accept them because that's the important thing.
Mr. Tom's, it's all about what Mr. Tom wants, people.
Yeah.
Some players also want to be fit for international duty this summer.
You got the Euros coming up. There is that.
That is true, but you know what? How about trying to win multiple times in a season? In a year. Lonzo's in the house. People, everybody say hi.
Hi.
Block my internet, he says. Mr. Tom, try.
That was your suggestion.
That was my suggestion. Yeah.
That was your suggestion. My apologies.
We all look alike. All us Americans look alike. Yeah.
You and Gary could be. You and Spencer could be twins at this point.
There you go.
No,
All right,
you
so
could send in one of those American Online discs that are expired.
there you go. So here we go. So we talked about football. Now let's talk about the other football. Why does Denver suck, and how long will it last?
Well, okay. So funny you mentioned that. So the rookie mini camp happened I think Friday.
You're funny, man.
Let me get through this. Listen, I'm selling hopes and dreams over here. Whether they're good hopes and dreams or another discussion, but they're hopes and dreams. And a guy I know that's a Steelers fan who covers the team, believe it or not. He lives in Denver and he covers the team. We went out and bought him a Bo Nix jersey. That's what he saw in practice on Friday. So the arm strength is not an issue. The seamed routes are back. The stuff Russ couldn't do, Bo's doing. Now, granted, it's got to play the games out, but there's a little bit of hope in the Mile High City right now. 5280 is a little hopeful right now. Yeah. So we shall see what happens.
Yeah. So we are long lost brothers. It's like twins. Remember twins?
Wait, yeah.
You know, there's gonna be a third one.
There's a third twins coming out?
They've had it in development for like 20 years, and I probably should say 30, but because originally the third twin was going to be Eddie Murphy, and then it was going to be Tracy Morgan. So basically, you can see the theme that they're going with for the third.
That's right, because they don't even know, right? They don't even know how many children that lady had.
Exactly. But that being said, according to the scripts for the sequel, perfectly plausible that.
I was gonna say that seems like a triplet.
Don't give a shit. It's sorry to quote Stefan earlier when he fucked up in something. It's late. It's late, bro. It's late.
Yeah. International parade. It's funny how you hear all these people like, why is Arsenal planning for a parade? It's like they have to because they don't know.
They'd be like, oops.
Because if they don't plan for it and then they do need one and they like, well, guess what? We'll have the parade next week. People are like, why can't you have it tomorrow? Because we didn't plan.
Yeah. It's one of those situations you win or you don't win. You win regardless. You lose regardless. You can't win with some people.
Yep. So. It's like the shirts and stuff that they have, right, for the Super Bowl winners and NBA winners and stuff. They don't like make them right after the game is over. They have them right away, ready to go. That's why you could buy one the day of the game, right? The Denver Broncos win the Super Bowl. Here, call 1-800-BRONCOS suck and get your new Super Bowl championship shirt.
How's that commercial go? Hello, Broncos fans. Your team just won the Super Bowl. Call 1-800-FANATICS to get your gear. Get the cap that the players wear on the field. You know that same we can. Capitalism, baby. Capitalism.
Yeah. Oh, see, look, Colonel Ward is just like digging. He's just digging at the scab, man.
This is fine. Let's pick this apart. Okay,
Go on.
Let's
Do it.
pick this apart with the correct facts. Okay. Leeds were not in the Champions League in 2002. We were in the Champions League in 2000, 2001. We sold Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank in 1999. We sold Rio Ferdinand in 2002. And we sold Alan Smith in 2004. So
you could have had a striker and defender and won trophies probably if you just hold on to them.
Yeah, but you kind of need money to do that.
You don't need money to hold on to the players you got, do you?
You kind of do if you've banked all your spending on the Champions League money to pay for it, and we did not. Basically, we finished 4th in a season where the top 3 get the Champions League spots.
Disappointing.
If it'd been a season later, we'd have had the money to pay for it. But yeah.
Have you seen
the breaks?
Have you seen the scouting videos of one Bo Nixon, Spencer?
Oh, I wasn't at practice.
You weren't at practice?
It was a closed door practice. They weren't allowed to speak too much. But look, when you got a Steelers fan going out and buying a Broncos jersey, what does that tell you, Gary? You know, I mean, I'm not saying this is going to be. There's a fighting chance. Yeah. I don't think they say this team's going to win 4 games, and I think Tom's more privy to the over-unders as far as win-losses, but I think it's a 7, 8, 9, 10 win team again. It's in that range again, so we shall see.
True. Steven, we might have a point there. This is the crazy part about this. We can get everything we want.
Yep.
But we might only score 4 goals on the weekend, and City may score 3 goals, and that's the difference right there. That's the difference, right?
Well, the goal difference right now is 3.
Yeah.
So I mean, that would really suck. It could happen. Like this
because the second tiebreaker is goals scored, which they currently have 3 on us, right? So, or 2 on us now. I think it is. Yeah. So.
Call off the hit on Colonel Ward immediately.
So we have to win we have to score 2 more goals than them to at least draw on goals scored, and then basically it goes, I think, head to head or something like that. Maybe the third one. I don't know.
I feel like head to head would have been the first one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, who knows? Are we looking at another 1989 movie being written here? And probably not, but whatever. Or excuse me, not that, a fever pitch.
Yeah, everybody, remember, sub to We All Love Leeds for good ball knowledge from some guy up. What's your name again, sir?
My name is Sir Digby Chicken Caesar.
There you go. Check him out. Lonzo, dude. We don't need Tony. Tony's where he wants to be. Let me see what we got here. Oh boy. Okay. See? Yeah,
that's about the subbing to my show, which he is sub to, by the way. He's factually sub to it. Because he turned up on it yesterday. He turned up. He was like, "Oh, hey everybody, what's going on, dudes? Let me just check my championship runners-up trophy is polished enough." And he started polishing it. He was like, "Oh, it smells of promotion," and all that.
Oh, So you wouldn't do that. You sound like you've already got your script written for what you're going to say.
You had a good result yesterday, though, right?
It's far from the worst result. I'll
Yeah.
say that.
I want to say both teams didn't want to score.
Yep.
Like it's one thing to say, okay, both teams didn't want to open themselves up for like a counter, but it's like no. They didn't even want to try to score. As I always said, as I mentioned to you in the chat, whoever I think it's your left fullback or your left fullback, whenever he saw like 100 yards of space in front of him, he just turned and went the other way. Because guess what? He might have to dribble a long way up there before somebody comes up to defend him. And I was like, dude.
Sorry, there is one
going
thing
on?
I've got to bring up just while it's
Uh-oh.
on my mind because I dislike him a lot. So I need to bring this up, and that's a great point. That's a great point. Because speaking of pricks that sold Leif Davis, did you know Canada's got a new manager?
Yeah, I saw that. Your favorite.
Imagine being the fucking moron that sold Leif Davis to Ipswich. Anyway, sorry, speaking of morons, so I want the Copa America or the World Cup in 2026. I need them to conspire. I don't care how they do it. I need them to fix it so Canada play Uruguay. So we can have the ultimate battle for the city of Leeds, where basically Marcelo Bielsa takes on Jesse Marsh, and he will pummel him into submission. He will pummel him back to the Stone Age, where his bullshit penis formation fucking came from. He's go fuck himself.
Canada has some good players on their side as
loves
well.
us some Jesse Marsh.
So yeah,
Jesse Marsh wears great shoes.
I'm very magnanimous, Tom.
Magnanimous.
Yeah, magnanimous. Yes. Okay, that's a big word.
I did lie.
All right,
That was a lie.
Spence, anything on your mind that we don't want to hear?
Well, it's the wife's birthday, so I want to say happy birthday to her. We had a great birthday dinner. She had a great Mother's Day yesterday.
Oh yes.
Like,
yes.
go hang out.
What was the meal, sir?
I had a California burrito.
No, we don't care about what you had because you're not the
I cooked
the star at the table.
I cooked hamburgers and hot dogs for everyone yesterday. That's it. It wasn't anything special. I mean, it was all right,
Cool.
So, yeah, it was a good time.
I made breakfast for the boss.
About people's food.
Can I tell the breakfast story, Gary? Because there's a rumor going around that we were supposed to have breakfast bagel sandwiches on Saturday, but of course it didn't happen. So I'll give you the short, skinny one. So anyway, came downstairs. Wife put the bagels on the counter, and we went to go take care of something real quick upstairs, and then came back downstairs. And there was like a plastic bag on the floor. Of course, mind you, I forgot about the bagel because I didn't put them there. And there was bread on the floor. And I was like, what's up? So we called a little one downstairs, say, hey, did you have a scone out? Because the cats like to sometimes go find stuff. So anyway, we shook it off, cleaned it up. It wasn't much to like kind of give you a hint to what was wrong. But we cooked the bacon, we cooked the sausage, cooked the eggs, And I was like, all right, cool. You ready for your sandwich? I was like, where's the bagels at? She's like, I don't know. Where are they at? I was like, oh, shit. Now we know what. I go all the way over to the couch, which everybody's the famous couch everyone sees on Monday nights usually. And there's one bagel left of a 6-pack bagel. So I go up to Elway, my lab, and I say, hey, man, you want a bagel? And he looks away and walks away. He ate 4.
He's like, no, thanks, I'm full.
He ate 4 everything bagels. He lived to tell about it, so But either way, we ended up cooking pancakes to go with it. But there's the funny story. But of course, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there in America. I don't know. I think United Kingdom, you guys celebrate a different day, but
it was a couple of weeks ago, if not a month ago, I think. So
gotcha. But yeah, no, that was my interesting story about breakfast, and needless to say, he never turns down food, but he looked at that bagel and was like, "No, I'm good." So it's a tag team effort. I know what happened. Our big cat Licorice got up there and threw it off the counter, or McCarr did, one of the two. And then they just went to town and helped each other out. It was a team effort. So,
there you go. You always see that. You always see that like meme where the cat is sitting there, and there's like a cup at the end of the table, and the cat's like, and then you see like the person do something, and the cat's like,
Yeah.
one of those. If nobody's there, the cat's just gonna knock it off. But hey, no.
It's
Yeah.
it was still a good breakfast regardless. So probably good we didn't have the
Very
carbs. So
I find it very difficult to believe, Stefan.
Yeah, everybody there celebrate. I'm surprised you guys don't celebrate Christmas on a different day. It's because you celebrate Mother's Day.
I just find it. I find it. I find it hard to believe that Stefan, a man who, let's just say, he's not shy about knowing things about the ladies, would not be aware of two different opportunities to verbally and emotionally fillet these ladies online.
Yeah. Stop.
we're talking
No.
about Riz, as the kids call it.
Stop.
Yeah, he's got the riz, brah.
I don't know what that means. Stop. Stop.
It means
just sounds.
charisma.
No, whatever. Doesn't sound. That sounds nasty.
No, it's not nasty. It's just it's kind of like I don't know, charisma. So you know how to spit game. It's
Oh.
instead of kids saying like hit on, now they say Riz because it's less offensive. I guess.
Sounds like yeah. Mm-mm. Cool. How much to spend an afternoon with Spencer? Anyway, he knows a good.
Well, the grass needs to be cut right now, so that's a start. You know,
You know what? Grass needs to be cut? I don't know what that means.
No, I mean like literally push a lawnmower. You know what I'm saying?
However you decide. Yeah, whatever that means to you. Yes.
You ain't gotta pick the dog poop either. Can just cut right over. It don't matter.
Dog poop.
Yeah, it's fertilizer.
Gary,
yeah,
I think it's time for you to get your line in, Gary, as you say it.
Right.
It's your line. It's your word.
Nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah, I don't know. Spencer just comes on and just tosses all this nasty stuff, man. All this nasty stuff. But yeah, no, as I said, and this Arsenal just needs to win out, and then we'll see what happens.
Yep.
All right, just win out. You can't do anything unless you win out. So, you've done your bet. You got one more to win to go, and we'll see. You think Arteta gets another year, or gets as long as he needs?
So I say yes, he gets another year. I'm going to answer the question directly the first time. Yeah, he gets another year, but I think the difference this time compared to last time is how it finished, right? So I think the last 10 games, the last 2 years, we got 15 out of 30 points. As of right now, we're going to end up with 26 out of 30 if we win on Sunday. And I don't think the Cronkies. I know people have disdain for the Cronkies, but again, I think if you just watch one sport, I think you can get tunnel vision on how things actually work. But if you watch multiple sports, I think you see how multiple leagues operate, right? Winning doesn't happen overnight. I know Chelsea and Real Madrid have ways to do it, but I think as long as he doesn't lose, I think he really would get fired, Gary, if he loses the locker room. I think that's a big thing, right? If you lose the respect for the players, but I think the players like him, the fans like him. Yeah, I mean, like finishing second's not a trophy. We've been over this, but this will be Man City's 4th title in a row, and we can go back to all the games that we've thrown away where it didn't. The Fulhams. I mean. We had Southampton last year, Fulham this year. It is depressing, but what we've seen in 2024 gives me hope for 2025 and 2020. Yeah. Right?
Well, that's the thing. You need to be able to build on it.
Yes,
and it has no choice. You have to build on it. And once again, if I'm going to put my process hat on, the reason I think we're ahead of where we needed to be, because I still believe we still need to be able to compete on multiple fronts. This season, we've shown that we can only compete on two fronts, the two most important fronts, of course. But the reason why we didn't do so good, I think, as a team is because we can't compete on 4 fronts. Because for me, I feel like being able to compete on 4 fronts means that you have a solid squad.
Yeah.
And guess what you need sometimes is a solid squad that you can lean on when you spend all day in a Fulham 18-yard box and can't do anything and you don't have answers for it, right? When West Ham scores 1 goal on you and you can't figure out a way to get another goal for the rest of the game.
82 touches in the box too on top of that.
When you play a Villa for a whole half and you look like you're going to score and you can't do it, and they go on a run and just destroy you in quick succession. I think that's why he seems to want to find starters, but he needs to find squad players as well, right? Like we truly need a Jota, and he's to some degree turned like what we saw for the thing about when we saw from Emil Smith Rowe when he was healthy, come on, score a goal, right? He scored 4 goals I think it was in like 5 games or something like that, coming off the bench. 10 goals from a bench player, essentially. Good bang for your buck. He needs that, and he doesn't trust it. But the only way he trusts is if he plays him, and he doesn't play him. So there you go.
Here's the crazy thing about it too. Like you could make a legitimate argument that we hit on all 4 transfers this summer too. Raya, Timber, Havertz, and Rice. Yeah. You might not do that next year. That's very rare to hit on all 4 like that because Timber was trending in that direction. Yeah. We saw the talent there. Like it was there, right? Yeah. That was a guy that was going to fill right in. The Partey, I mean, again, I think the idea was Partey, Rice, and Odegaard, and then Havertz was going to become that extra player.
That right there is a risk.
I don't disagree.
Like the whole part of, all right, that's what I think is going to work for us. And Partey, who isn't reliable, and the odds are he will not last, and he didn't last at all. It's like you put your trust in scenarios that just aren't going to happen, right? Yes.
I mean, I think if you could have,
what did somebody said? I guess we'll get to it. Yeah, go ahead.
60. If we had 60 games in a year, and you rely on Partey for 30 of them, you can rely on Jorginho for 20 some. That probably would have made sense. But we'll go back in the 8 position. I know people want to blame Havertz for it, and this isn't a defend Havertz moment, but this is one of those ones where like Vieira couldn't stay healthy, Smith Rowe couldn't stay healthy, right? I mean, Partey couldn't stay healthy, and it's just one of those deals where. I tell you what, Gabriel Jesus is a player that, as much as people dislike him, I love him on the wing. That's where I see him. I see him as a right winger or a left winger, not as a number 9. So I still think he gets sold in the summer. I know we'll probably deal with players and transfers later, Gary. Not really get into that, but we are going to look back at some missed opportunities in this season, right? But I think it's the hardest thing to really take a risk on is to know whether you're going to be healthy or not. But I know what you're about to say. With Partey, you had to have known the track record is there, that he wasn't going to give you a full 38 games in the season. There's just no way. So I'm surprised we've gotten what we've gotten out of him, to be fair, so far. But
no, for sure, no. Yeah, no. I mean, basically, it was that that this is what you think you need. But I might not be the one. It's like he wanted somebody like Jesus, but Jesus isn't the one. But he got that's what it could be if I get what I want. Yeah. Zinchenko. This is what I kind of want. But, he sees something else. That's why we're still looking for that left back, right? Can't find, and I think that's the thing. We're getting, all right, this is the kind of whatever mode type of player, style of player I want. He gets it and then he goes, that still needs to be fine-tuned because that's not it. Because Jesus, not reliable. And Zinchenko, not a defender. Right? Gives me some of the other stuff, but I need somebody who can defend as well. It's easy for him to stick with Kiwior and Tomiyasu because they're defensively sound comparatively, but also they can take the ball up the pitch. Definitely Tomiyasu has. I mean, we've seen him do it, So, I think that's what he's done with some of these players. He kind of gave him, he like, this is kind of style player I want. And then he looks at him and goes, I still need to switch. Like, City does not have 2 teams. I think they play with about 15, 16 players. That's where those 15, 16, those extra 5 players that they play with, one, have to be better than what we have. Like, Trossard coming off the bench was that player, but because Martinelli has dropped off so much, we don't have 2 right wings like we wanted to have, right?
Martinelli hasn't been same since that injury.
Yeah. So, like I said, like, for whatever reason, we don't have that, right?
Yeah.
Like, right now we have Partey healthy, Jorginho backing him up. If that was the way it was all season, we'd be laughing, right?
Yeah.
Right. We don't have anybody behind Erdegaard, right? We don't necessarily have anybody behind Rice, right? Because I always say you need to have somebody behind one of your players, right? We have I know we have essentially 3 to 4 fullbacks that can interchange on different sides of the pitch. Ben White's been healthy, so we never needed to make that change, right? But Tomiyasu and Kyrgios, they could come and go, and we'd have no issues, right? So, we've got answers in certain spots, but not in other spots. Like, Saka should have come off that pitch the other day on Sunday. Arteta, like he always does. No, I think I can get a little bit more out of him. No. And then he gets hurt, and you're like, you should have pulled him. You have Jesus sitting there ready to go. Bring him on, give him 20, 30 minutes. Maybe we can pull away from this team. All right, that's what he can do. And all you're doing is hurting your players. All right, and that's the trust that our players going to trust Arteta. Sometimes you need to get helped. 60 games on one player is hell of a slog. Yeah, you need to be able to come out the game and have answers. Mr. Tom.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, you said Leeds have depth or no?
For the championship, we are considered to have a depth, attacking depth for the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there are levels to this, etc. I doubt I doubt Man City would look over our bench and shit itself.
No, but we're talking about, like you said, there's levels. So if you're in the championship, other teams that, like, Coventry City and teams lower in the table, looking at Leeds going, like, they're looking at Leeds going, damn,
Mm-hmm.
And during a stretch of games, you're punishing people, right? And then during a stretch of teams, you're worn down and you're not able to get the same out, right? And you don't have he didn't seem to have that answer, right? Like, was there a reason why Bamford did not play? Did he even play on Sunday? Did he come in and play?
No, Bamford didn't play the last game of the season. I don't think Bamford has played since. I think he's played since the game he scored in at Middlesbrough.
Yeah, it seems weird.
Can't blame a player for being injured. I doubt.
Oh, you think he's injured? Is that what you think?
No. I'm saying the opposite. I think he is injured. I don't get why a player would not want to play in these matches.
True. Yeah, no, and you could deal with something different than what you got. Like, I think it's Somerville did come off, and yeah.
There's a lot of facets to it. It could be argued that certain players at Leeds are eyeing up their move. A lot of players at Leeds are probably going to be in the Premier League next season, regardless of.
I hear that, but then I'm like, but you can't be like, you got to give me some glimmer, like something with some end product in it, right? Like Somerville being where he was in terms of league stature, some of that should turn into a goal in one of these last 4 or 5 games.
If we are to sell him in the summer, he will be a big gamble for someone because this is his first season as a first team player.
Mm.
He's spent the last 5 years as a sub. I mean, he joined Leeds when he was very young, but Sinistera was a loan, but then we basically offered Bournemouth the chance to turn it permanent, and they just gave us the 20 million we paid for him. Which if you're in the Championship, getting 20 million for a player is it's obviously a hefty whack of money. Sinister was a really good footballer, but if I did have a gun and he and Wilfried Gnonto were back to back, I'd shoot myself so I didn't have to watch them.
You just, I don't even know.
You just never know where it's going to go, right?
No, you don't know. You feel like you're just going down the road, nice and sweet. Next thing you know, bang!
Literally,
garbage truck just comes out of nowhere, and you're just like,
Not a fan.
"What just happened?"
Not a fan.
You're rolling down the hill, and you're like,
Hey,
"There was no hill there the other day, but now there's a hill."
No. What would you two fine, upstanding gentlemen say about a footballer who went on strike the day of the end of the transfer window? What would you say about a gentleman that forced a transfer out of Arsenal? What would you say? Would they be high in your estimation?
Yeah, I don't know, but you went a little like dark, Mr. Tom. That's what I mean.
I'm prone to that sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Aubameyang, yeah, he wanted out, and look where he is now. Right? Is he still playing? I don't even know. Oh, he just got knocked out, right? They got knocked out from Marseille.
He was in Marseille, yeah.
He's probably counting the 350 grand a week you gave him.
True. Very true. Well, listen, it's been 90 minutes. I'm going to have to go. We're going to have to go. And Spencer, his boss gave him 30 minutes, and we're going to adhere to that as well. So he can go back and,
Yeah, disappointer, I guess.
Yeah, yes. So before we get out of here, everybody's going to have their say. Spencer, what say you? And,
it's the last Monday of the season. I'm sure next Monday show potentially will have some emotions, good or bad. I mean, I'm pretty sure me and Gary will be very level-headed about it as naturally, but there'll be some reflection. There may be some joy. We don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of like the motto of the show. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the ride, man. Enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride. There we go.
Yes.
But everybody enjoy your week. Glad I was able to come on for 30 minutes again. Happy birthday to my wonderful wife. And thank you, everybody, for coming by. Colonel, Stefan, BX, Alonzo, everybody that's been in the chat. Thank you so much for your support and your comments. So
yes. So yeah, if you're around, check out Moss's Sport. Sounds like they're just starting up because there is hockey. It's hockey time right now, so he's probably
Avs playing about 30 minutes.
And basketball playoffs are going on as well. So check him out. Mr. Tom, what say you?
So thank you everyone for their time and for tolerating us two gentlemen for the early portions of the show. That is unfair to say that obviously business picks up when the Bronco comes in. Hang on, wait a minute. Sorry, that's an O.J. Simpson reference there, so I probably shouldn't have. Anyway.
Nobody went there, but yes, you
got it though.
I go along the place. You both knew where I was going with it. But anyway, so just to say, I probably will be starting an hour later on Thursday for the simple, logical reason that Leeds United play Norwich on Thursday. Therefore, it would be silly of me to start the wrestling show when Leeds are just finishing against Norwich, right? Because I need a little bit of time to digest the outcome.
Very true. Hopefully,
it could go one way. It could go another way.
Very true.
Gary, you're speaking. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say yes, and hopefully it's a good one. I'm gonna say yes. Mom's just joined, and she's gonna head out. Everybody's saying hello. Yes. Anything else, Mr. Tom?
Yeah. So stop by on Thursday. It'll be fun. I have no idea who's going to be there, but either way, have fun. I'm going to have fun regardless. But at the same time, life is a journey. Don't. Sorry, I'm not going to do your line. That's your outro. That's your outro. I'm not going to do
You
your
just said it
outro.
backwards.
Yes. Yeah, life is a journey. Don't waste a trip. Enjoy the ride, everyone. So, and yes, we'll be back next week. Hopefully, we're smiling. And so, wait, you play on Thursday, and then is the final on Sunday? Is that how that works?
I'm
Or do you get a
going
little bit
to
longer?
guess. No, I'm going to guess there'll be. It won't be that Sunday. It'll probably be the next one.
It's
Okay, so you
Memorial
get
Day
some
weekend, I
time to
think.
break. So hopefully, Mr. Tom is prepping for the festivities. Is it Wembley? Is that right? Where they play it?
It would be at Wembley. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe Mr. Tom will, will be able to have his team participate in that and be happy for it and see hopefully get a good result on that one. But we'll talk about that when it comes. Everybody, thanks for joining us. We'll do this again. Arsenal got one more win left in the season, hopefully, and then we'll see what happens, whether it's gets them what they want. Find out tomorrow if that team really is going to go and do something Spursy, or if they're going to, as some people say, lay down and let City get all that they want. I don't think teams should do that, but we shall see. Everybody, thanks for joining. We're going to head out of here. Thank you. Hit the likes and all of that, and we will talk to you guys on the next one. See ya.
Life is a journey. Don't waste your trip. Enjoy the ride. There you go.
It's a slow ending. It won't end the stream.
It's a good show.
It's taking its time. It hasn't ended yet. It's still ticking. It's saying I'm ending stream, but it's not ending.
We are still live.
And we are still live.